Okay, and 5, 4, 3. Welcome to Peacekeeper Reaction. My name is Nathan. Joining me as always be
Danyn.
Danyn.
Mm-hmm.
Danyn.
Yes.
This is very interesting. That I've shown you a ton of Nightwish on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Ghost Love Score,
Mm-hmm.
Romanticide,
Mm-hmm.
Devil in the Deep Dark Ocean.
Among many other
Among
things.
many other things. But I've never shown you, and it's probably a length thing, to be honest. This is a 20-minute song.
Wow, okay.
So it's like, we got to have a lot of time to dive into this. And sometimes we just, we're busy, we're working people.
Or dinner takes late or whatever.
Dinner's late. But,
today we have time.
Today we have time. So I thought, you know what? I haven't shown Danyn the greatest show on earth. And don't be confused with the greatest show on earth, which I think is what the Stampede calls itself.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so,
the Calgary
yeah.
Stampede?
Yeah.
I think says it's the
I
greatest
think so.
show on earth, or the greatest time you can have with your boots on, or something like that. It's a rodeo.
The greatest time in costume.
Yeah. It's the greatest show on earth. But I digress, because I don't think the Stampede is the greatest show on earth. It's actually quite lame. The Stampede.
Yeah. Cowboy cosplay.
Cowboy cosplay, indeed. But what's great about this, so when I was a young man, a young Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
I had a young...
I must admit that when I was a young warthog thing, and that just took me back to like when we first started filming together.
Yeah. But when I was a young Nathan, I didn't do well in school, even a little, I gotta say. This may shock some people. But I didn't do well in school. I was especially terrible at science and math. I did well in like English class and stuff like that, reading and writing and things. But when I got to a certain age, I started being really interested in this guy named Richard Dawkins, because he was like an atheist. And I was like a militant atheist. I was like almost an asshole about it. And a lot of it was due to Richard Dawkins' writings. The way he would talk about atheism was so beautiful. The fact, like, look, like, when you think about God and the Bible and stuff, and people think, like, how did this all come to be? And they need supernatural reasons for it all coming together, right? And so that's where they find their beauty. God made this. But Richard Dawkins would say, just look, you don't have to look for supernatural reasons for the beauty of Earth. Like when a flower blooms.
Yeah.
Like all this natural stuff
Natural
that nature does.
Natural magic, natural beauty.
Yeah. That's where you look at. When you look at like evolution, and that's what the greatest show on earth is evolution.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Tuomas Haloppinen, the composer of all Nightwish songs, is also a fan of Richard Dawkins' writings. And Richard Dawkins himself even makes an appearance in this concert. He's a scientist, a biologist, an amazing person, and he even shows up on this song. So there's 4 parts to it, I think, and it's great, it's beautiful, and I don't want to say too much. I just want to, it's been a while since we've shown Nightwish, and people said to me, and I take this very serious, I read all comments and everything, that when we showed Trinity, Ghost Love Score, we said too much before we showed it to her. They wanted, just show her the song. Don't say anything. So,
well, you said too much about this already then.
I've already said, but I feel like I haven't. I'm just setting up for the Richard Dawkins thing. But, so I don't want to say anything else. Let's dive right in. Okay. If you want to pause, we can pause, or we could just do the whole song.
Yeah.
So whatever you want, when you raise your hand or something, or if you have something you want to say, I'll pause.
Okay.
But otherwise, we can just enjoy this beautiful journey together with everybody.
Let's do it.
So let's dive right into the greatest show on earth.
On Peacekeeper
Reaction.
Baby.
Oh, it started.
After sleeping through 100 million centuries, we have finally opened our eyes on a sumptuous planet, sparkling with color, bountiful with life. Within decades, we must close our eyes again. Isn't it a noble and enlightened way of spending our brief time in the sun, to work at understanding the universe and how we have come to wake up in it?
The cosmic law of gravity pulled the real forms around the fire. Careless calls infinity in every vast direction. The lonely Pharaoh in the Goldilocks zone, she has exhaled to exhale. From the stellar nursery into a carbon feast. Enter Luca, the tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden, leading us to the mother of all. We are one, we are universe. Oh, there's what will be, science of the legal, you see. Chaos pass right in the tide of us all. Day to day, new opening for the greatest show on earth. Vital channels welcoming the outside world to the stuff of stars. Getting the dream of a biological whole. Enter the tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden, leading us to the mother of all. We are one, we are universe. Progress of what will be, science of the Ligolian Sea. Chaos pass right down the tide of our soul. A day-to-day new opening for the greatest show on earth. We are here to care for the garden, the wonder of earth, of every form most beautiful. Every part most beautiful. Are one, we are a universe. Four pairs of what will be, science of the Devonian Sea. Hey, your stars right in the tide of our soul. A day-to-day new opening for the greatest show on earth.
Most people are never going to die because they're never going to be born. The potential people who could have been here in my place, but who will in fact never see the light of day, outnumber the sand grains of Sahara. Certainly those unborn ghosts include greater poets than Keats, scientists greater than Newton. We know this because the set of possible people allowed by our DNA so massively exceeds the set of actual people. In the teeth of these stupefying odds, it is you and I, in our ordinariness, that are here. We privileged few who won the lottery of birth against all odds. How dare we whine at our inevitable return to that prior state from which the vast majority have never stirred?
Oh, there he is, Richard Dawkins, a scientist. This is so nerdy.
And I'm crying.
Thus, from the war of nature,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
from
god. Oh my
famine
god. Oh my god.
and death, the most exalted object which we are capable of conceiving, namely the production of the higher animals, directly follows. There is grandeur in this view of life,
Oh my god.
with its several powers originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And that whilst this
Look at that
planet
guy's crying,
has
eh?
gone cycling on according to the fixed law
Yeah,
of
that guy.
gravity,
Not me.
from so simple a beginning, endless forms most beautiful,
Oh, it's so beautiful.
This is not a dry eye.
and
Yeah.
most wonderful, have been and are being evolved.
Oh, that's so great. Richard Dawkins coming out. And it's so beautiful. Okay, so how do you want to do this?
I don't know.
Do you have things to say?
I don't know.
First of all, you got goosebumps the entire time. That's what you're doing there.
To the
just in
point,
case.
yeah, just in case it's not obvious. The point is, it hurt. Like it started to get to a point where it hurt because
Yeah.
I'd have goosebumps, and then I'd get goosebumps again while the goosebumps were still there.
Goosebumps on goosebumps.
It's goosebumps on goosebumps. At what point did my skin is trying to burst?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah. And
I was crying the whole time.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
hiding it.
Yeah.
And then when I saw you wipe your eyes, I was like, me too.
yeah,
Me
it
too.
is so beautiful, and I'm so glad that we like watched just it straight and didn't pause or anything, because we felt like a real journey we went on.
Yeah.
From that beginning, like build up. Like this is a master composition. This is why people call Tuomas Halpinen the metal Mozart.
Yeah.
Because this is as beautiful composition as you can imagine.
We went through a ride. Like
Yeah.
I went through a ride. Like it was like a roller coaster.
Yeah, and you are a person who loves like dinosaurs and evolution and stuff. You like one of our first dates. We just watched Apple TV's
Prehistoric Planet.
Prehistoric Planet.
I
Yeah.
advise it to anybody, not sponsored, but I advise it to anybody. Prehistoric Planet. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So you love this science stuff. You're
I
kind of a
also
nerd
have-
too. You have a dinosaur tattoo. So like, before I nerd out on some of the things, there are so many things in here that are like nods to Richard Dawkins' writings. The Gap. People know about the Gap who've ever read about him. Where you're like, it's like people. So you can't explain something, so you reach for a supernatural reason for it to be, instead of like waiting and building the science and stuff like that. But there's so much nods to his work that is so great. But I gotta say, the most beautiful part of it, like it talks about like how we came and we're just here for a short time. Right? And we have like,
But the story is still evolving.
yeah, we're trying to explain a single grain of sand. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how short our time is. But then the beautiful part is like when he says, you know, we shouldn't be scared of dying. The odds of us being born even are exponential.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we're even here is a beautiful gift. You know what I mean? There are so many people that aren't born. And I just think that's like the most beautiful part of the song. It's like just appreciate life because we're fucking lucky to be here.
We're here. We're alive.
We were here. And when it says we are here, or we were here,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, that hits.
And
it's like,
we were, not we are, because before that it's talking about dying shouldn't be
Dying.
so scary, right?
Yeah.
So you can say we were here.
We were here,
I was here. When I
yeah.
died, I
Yeah.
was here.
And doesn't that make you inspired? Doesn't that make you want to be like, I'm going to fucking do something with my life?
Yeah.
Like we have the gift of life. Let's do something.
Yeah. And it could be short. I mean, it's a blink of an eye to somebody.
It is
you
a
know?
blink of an eye. That's exactly what the song is
It's
saying.
the blink of an eye, right?
Yeah.
So if you achieve happiness and you achieve to yourself longevity and a purpose and a reason, then it doesn't have to be a purpose or a reason to somebody else. It has to be to you.
Yes.
Because then you were here.
We were here. Yes. Beautiful, right?
Right?
And Flora's vocals in this the whole time are amazing.
yeah.
Like the way she went from no, we were here, and then like
I don't know. She went.
well, you know what I mean. She had like that tone, that like very kind of monotone, kind of vocals to like this beautiful. It's so this. I'm so jealous of the people that were at this show to see this lineup of
I know.
Nightwish.
I think I would have.
Peak.
I think I actually would have simply just passed away.
Yeah.
Especially because like I got goosebumps to the point where it was hurting every time. Like I'd get them and it'd be like I already had a goosebump, so it's
For
like,
sure. Yeah.
The bumps are trying to get out of my skin.
Yeah, and the nipples.
They were. They're still unbelievably hard.
Oh my god. Okay, so on the nippleometer.
Out of this world.
Out of this world.
It's
oh,
not
that's
even
so
on the
great.
meter.
Oh, that's so great. So, let's end it there. And I just want to say,
Ended on the nippleometer.
on the nippleometer, her nipples are hard. My nipples are hard too, in a more subtle, softer way.
That's how that works.
No. Okay, but people who have seen our show, what else should I show Danyn from Nightwish that should really
Show
like?
me
Because
more.
like we haven't gone through their whole catalog yet, so I'm really especially.
And
this
people
is
in
so
the comments,
beautiful.
you can tell him that he says too much because you said a whole bunch and then ended it with people in the comments said we said too much.
Yeah, I know.
It was very ironic.
I'm excited.
I know, but it was very ironic because
yeah.
you were like for like several minutes,
Yeah,
and then you were like,
Yeah.
"The last video we did, they said I said too much."
Okay. I'm just like Tommy Boy with my pretty little pet, and I just want to stroke it and poke its eyes out. You know. So let us know what you think in the comments section. I'm so happy I got to share this with you because it's not a song that I listen to a lot on my own because it is so long.
It's an experience, but
it's an experience,
but also you can't
right?
just. I feel like there's some things that I just feel like need a video.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could sit like obviously it's a good song, so I could sit and listen to it, but I don't think it would have the impact it does unless you're watching it.
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful. So let us know what you think in the comment section. That's what comment sections are for. And we're gonna go get a drink, and we got some more videos to film. It's very exciting. Lots of great stuff coming up. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And for Peacekeeper, I'm Nathan. That's
Danyn.
Play safe. I can put my arm back on.
You can.